Join me in my hike across Scotland. Look at this, here we are. That's the Loch Lomond area. We're just finishing up the John Muir Way. We're about to start on the West Highland Way, and then we get on over to the Great Glen. Good morning and welcome to my hike across Scotland. We are on the John Muir Trail. So we're actually at the cross points between the West Highland Way and the John Muir Trail, or John Muir Way. And then this is the first signpost I've seen for the West Highland Way, but certainly Milgai, it's not Milgave, it's Milgai. I've had several Scottish people tell me that you've got to say Milgai. This is a point where I'm gonna be in 4 or 5 days. 5 days, I guess it is. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, this doesn't look like much, but today is our longest day. So we have 17 miles, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, so down there is the second half of the cross connect, and the whole thing is maybe a half mile. I'm overwhelmed by the quantity of people that I've just encountered. It's taken me 45 minutes to walk that half mile because I'm talking to people from all over the world, Australia to Chicago. Just amazing. So I'm really excited for West Highland Way. Very, very much more popular. A lot of people are ferrying their packs and just taking day packs. We'll see. It's going to be a very interesting hike. Very different from kind of the John Muir, just in geography alone. But now I'm back on the John Muir. I actually had to almost run to get off of the West Highland just so I could continue on. I'm just leaving Edenmill farm. It's a very family-friendly experience, and a pretty good poached egg. Beautiful farm buildings around here too, and Christmas tree lot. So it's a nice part of the hike. I'm sorry I'm filming during this cut down area, but the views, I mean, I've been walking uphill for 5 miles. This is directly east. So we've been walking as far as the eye can see in this direction. That's it. And now we're about to go over this hill, whatever this hill is, and we're gonna lose that sight. The West Highland Way goes up, you know, behind this mountain here. So we're only going through the valley when we hit the West Highland Way. We're not going to see that again, so that's why I turned on. And it's definitely, you know, we're up in altitude. You can tell. So I know this is a little, you know, right in front of the camera is a little scrubby. Just look beyond that. Thanks for tuning in. Another warm and sunny day in Scotland, and we're at Burncrooks Reservoir. I'm about 5 miles into segment 9 out of 17, and this is where we finally got to. We're still walking around the reservoir. We've gained a bunch of altitude, and I'm so impressed. I mean, this is the landscape I've been expecting and waiting for. Look at how sunny and warm it is here in Scotland. Wow. I am excited. So we're just entering, when we get on the other side of the hill, we'll be entering the Loch Lomond Natural Park area. And that will dominate a lot of the West Highland Way in the beginning. What else is going on? Oh, when we get over the hill, we should be able to see one of the Munros. So the Munros to Scotland are like the 14ers in Colorado. There's 100 and some odd mountains that are part of the Munro, like 140. I might have mentioned this earlier. So the southernmost Munro, which I don't know what the altitude is, but I guess 3,000 meters is going to be, you know, that kind of peak. It will be in view, and that'll be Ben Lomond. So we'll see. We got a surprise right now. We are entering a new phase of the hike, even though there's only one day left. We are entering the South Highlands. So Loch Lomond is somewhere down there to the left, I assume. Well, I spoke a little too soon on the last video because that is Loch Lomond. Could have just waited another 3 minutes or so to around the corner. Look at that. Okay, so that's all national park here in Scotland, and we'll be camping down on the right hand side, right kind of at that channel there, right on the mouth, and then that's for the West Highland Way, and then going along the coast all the way up there till the end of the cloud. So we got that ahead of us, but right now we're finishing up John Muir, loving the landscape. I just came out of this beautiful pine forest here. Before that, it was a particularly difficult section. For a good hour and a half, it was kind of wild cut wood, totally exposed. I mean, thankfully it's a warm sunny day here in Scotland where I could deal with the exposure. But, it's going to be until like 2030 before this part of the trail is not going to be devastating. So, highly recommend. That's a big challenge for this section. It's just sort of right after the reservoir, you come into this clear cut. But now it's gone. So now I'm feeling more like we're into some, well, farm a little bit, but I can see where theoretically we can get some protected land down by where the water is, which is where we're headed. Hey, definitely farm. I got sheep. Okay, good. That section is over with. Whew. I'm glad about that. Welcome back to Scotland. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to get some sheep shots because the baby lambs are out. Check these guys out. Oh, look at them run. Oh, Mom, you look a little shaggy. And it's so funny because I'm walking. Hey, little guys. What's going on? Yesterday was so cute. I got some of the babies that they were playing. They were jumping around, having a great time. I got a photo. I didn't get film. Okay. Well, there's our babies for us today. We made it to Balloch. Here is the Balloch Castle. We're in the Balloch Castle Park. And I'll take you down to the beach here. All right, there is Loch Lomond. And Balloch, I'm having so much fun saying it because I think of Indiana Jones #1, where his nemesis was Balloch. Here we are on Loch Lomond. Oh, look at this. Wow, this is a nice end of the day. So, I will officially say this is the end of the day. We have only one left. We've done 125 miles across Scotland so far. One last day of the John Muir Way. And like John, we cast off. Well, of course, unlike John, we're not going to the States. We're turning around and going back to Glasgow and then up the West Highland Way. And across Scotland again for the Great Glen Way. Whew. This was probably the second longest of the whole trip today. The longest being the very last day of the Great Glen. The town of Balloch. This is the Balloch Harbor. And don't let the boat that's sunk in front of the camera here fool you. There's a lot of them like that. Maybe a third of the boats are down. Not back here, these are all safe, but out front. Harbor needs a little help. So this is the main town. That's it. This is definitely one horse town. So long as they got a room and a pub, we're okay. So thanks for tuning in.